Wow.
Wow, this is some really deep stuff.
I don't know what just happened, but something happened inside of me. Something snapped, something.
I wasn't expecting that either.
Sorry.
It's okay. It's all right. It's beautiful.
Monster is like really small, but it had to become that to stop me.
And then the hurt child became present when you mentioned it.
And I didn't realize this until now.
There were things that I didn't remember until now.
Funny, I haven't seen that before.
It feels like I'm the monster. I'm kind of seeing images of things, of a world where they can exist. This clarity brings all kinds of answers.
It's clear. She hugged me and then went back to her place, I guess, in my heart. Oh, it wants to come out. It wants to bippity boppity boop Cinderella me. She's melted into my chest. It's ooey gooey.
All week been finishing things, cleaning up more, started eating vegetables again last week. And it kind of just started happening. It's almost like I just finished going through a meditation session.
I feel light. When you hit that first joint, in the morning, and
I actually feel a lot more awake.
Okay. So, do you have any parts you'd like to get to know better or change your relationship with?
I'd like to go back to, I guess, kind of that void that we were talking about last time.
Mm-hmm. I remember there was an organizing part, kind of a protector around that.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah, I remember he felt like there was so much space to fill up. It was almost like a project where you don't know where to begin. You just feel overwhelmed.
Yeah. And he was asking for more time and patience and to be listened to.
Yeah. I'm noticing that one of the ways that patience physically manifests is just by slowing down. I think that was something that was talked about a little bit the last time. But since just from some of my sessions with my regular therapist, kind of, I guess I've realized more so the importance of me slowing down. And I'm noticing a feeling like that helps. Because when I slow down, I'm allowed to notice things more.
How do you do that? Is there a part that kind of triggers that? Oh, I need to slow down, or is there more of a proactive ritual around it, or how do you find yourself remembering to do that?
Some of both of what you just said.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a part of me that's very driven, and that's the part of me that I feel like that part's being utilized a little bit more towards, okay, we have to put our foot down about setting out time to meditate, setting out time to go inward. And whenever I do that, that's me slowing down. When I do that, I have to spend time with, because I notice that there's this other thought of, even when I do that, I'm still going too fast. So that's some of my impatience. That's a feeling of impatience of do this better. You can, and when I get in that mode, things speed up. But when I notice that happening, things slow down. Even if I am going fast still, just by bringing that awareness, that thought's there at least, and some things do happen.
Yeah. And going back to what you were saying about the void, does it feel like it's all connected to that, or is it a separate kind of system?
No, it's part of this system because that void, right now, what I'm noticing is a certain amount of insatiableness. I don't know if that's a word.
Sure, I understand.
But yeah, it's kind of like I need more. And see that insatiableness, it kind of works, it recruits that driven part to acquire more, to do more. It kind of it's what comes to mind is how, I mean, I love IFS, but I'll jump from IFS to Enneagram stuff to the next book to the next book. It's like I can't take in enough. I'm very much that kind of person who I know a little about a lot. And sometimes I do need to slow down a little bit and integrate that.
Yeah, so would you say the driven part is like a protector of the void? Does the void feel more like an exile?
I don't know if the void feels like an exile. The driven part's definitely a protector. It's a manager that's obsessed with acquiring things. Those things don't have to be material things. Honestly, when I think of the things, what pops into mind the most is books. Something for me to learn, something for me to read. The books and the internet. Like, I don't know. That part is the one that'll send me down a rabbit hole of, now I know everything there is to know. At least I feel like it about this certain type of fertilizer because I all of a sudden became interested in trying to start a garden.
Yep.
That kind of thing. And so, yeah, that part is working with the void part. But that void part, I think, is another man. That's what it feels like.
Okay.
It feels insatiable. But the reason I'm noticing that feeling of insatiableness, it's there, but it isn't me. But it is there. And that feeling is there to distract me because underneath that feeling, there is another part. And as I'm saying that, I'm noticing that there's some anxiety that's starting to well up. There's a little bit.
In going to that part that's underneath the void, there would be anxiety there.
Yeah, like I felt like speeding up. I felt like there's some excitement. But that excitement is a form of anxiety. Anxiety doesn't have to be bad. But there's excitement because it's like, I'm discovering something. I'm figuring something out. Then there's also trepidation of like, I'm not supposed to figure something out. I don't think I have permission to go there yet.
Right. Yeah. Well, it sounds like you've identified the part to go to first, which is the void. If it doesn't, if there's something, if it feels like there's something underneath it and it feels like that's, you don't have permission to go there, then it sounds like that would be a kind of a protector exile dynamic.
Yeah. Mm. So I'm noticed that feeling of excitement. There's appreciation there. It's kind of wow. It makes so much sense. You feel creating a feeling of emptiness to distract from something that's actually there. I'm going to create this feeling of emptiness so that it has to be filled up continuously. And while you're doing that, you won't have time to really dig into what's here.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. So you're feeling some appreciation for the void part.
Yeah. What I'm feeling is kind of, I always appreciate cleverness. So there's a part of me that's just like, oh, wow, so clever. What a clever way to distract.
Mm-hmm.
Almost like just, running a decoy. All right. And I mean, that doing it, I'm not going to pretend like I haven't gotten plenty in life out of that.
Right.
Some of that is, driven, like I said. So a lot of that manifests in me getting up and researching stuff all the time, increasing my knowledge.
Right.
Actually doing something. So I would never disparage that.
Right. Well, yeah, you can just keep tuning into it and ask it what it wants you to know or what it wants you to know about it, its experience.
It doesn't want me to slow down. At the same time, it won't deny that there's a sense of enjoyment around it.
Enjoyment of
the process, slowing down, me being here. What I'm feeling is I'm imagining a child almost when you don't want something, but it's actually good. It's like what I'm noticing is a lack of trust. And because of that lack of trust, this part that's creating this void, it doesn't want this to be interrupted. Even if it feels good, it doesn't want that. Because
the interruption of slowing down.
Yeah, the interruption of slowing down, the interruption of things being done the interruption of me turning my life into one big scavenger hunt. There's a part of me that's kind of wanting to intellectually explain it. It's like, well, if I do this, that's why when I get to the healing, this part isn't on board with that. Even when a part of me points out how good it feels, how it's like this part doesn't, that's what I'm noticing. It just doesn't things that this is what is actually good for it.
Yeah, so it's saying basically it likes its job overall, or it likes parts of it enough.
Yeah, it definitely likes its job.
Mm-hmm.
Do you really like your job? It's not about liking the job, but it's what needs to be done. And so this other stuff, it's protesting. Thoughts that are really protesting going forward, protesting slowing down, protesting really turning inwards. There's a craving for it, but there's also, I guess trepidation is the word I use, and just a part that is yelling stop.
Yeah. And what is hard about its job, or like what is it not like about it? What's it like for it when it's not enjoying it?
Doesn't like that it's the only one responsible.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't like that it has to do this so that the other parts have something to do. This part feels like it has to create this so that other parts are satisfied.
Yeah. Sounds tiring. And what would it rather be doing if it didn't have to do all that?
Comfort comes to mind. It would rather be comfortable, and it's not comfortable.
Mm-hmm. And would that look like kind of just relaxing, or would it look like a different role, or picking up some other role?
It would look like fulfillment. It would look like satisfaction. It would look like finally finding something. very identified with this role. And so it feels like it has to find something to feel what it's creating. And I'm noticing judgment. There's another thought. Just these other parts are failing. They aren't finding what we need. So there's judgment, disappointment, anger, just blaming.
Mm-hmm. And what are its concerns if it didn't get your attention that way, or if it didn't do its job?
A thought came up that I would cease to exist.
And are you all right just listening in more about that? Just hearing more from that part? You don't have to share the details with me. Just learning more about where that comes from and what it's like.
There is a lot of pain here.
Mm.
We need space from this pain.
And how are you feeling towards it as you learn more about that pain that it's protecting you from?
I feel a desire to embrace it. I feel a disconnection.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like there's parts of me that don't want that pain to be real. But it is real.
Yeah.
Does
So, what needs to happen next? I know you're short on time.
I'm feeling that I need to bridge that disconnection.
Mm-hmm.
Only myself can do it. I'm feeling that part of me you're so afraid of and ashamed of. Other parts that have been in pain for a long time. There's a lot of disconnect here.
Yeah, it makes sense. Stuff is painful. It's a great way of making it go away, at least for some amount of time, right? Just disconnect. Does this part have any requests of you going forward? Anything it would like to see you do for it, with it, or externally?
What I feel is my desire to bridge this disconnect. I know that is a path I'm on.
Yeah.
There's no fast fix.
Nope.
It's just a process. And I feel like the right path is ensuring my parts that I'll be able to hold the space needed to bridge that gap. Yeah.
Yeah, ensuring them, and also just, checking that with them regularly. Like, what does this part need to have that assurance? Does it trust you? What does it need in order to trust you?
Yeah.
But yeah, it sounds like you're on the right path to me.
Grateful, particularly to the space creating part, driven part, both those parts. Two different ways they're trying to distract me. I'm very grateful for them.
It's interesting that that terminology has gone from it being a void to being space creating.
That is interesting.
It's yeah. Sounds like a shift in perspective there.
I'm noticing that part feels a little bit heard and feels grateful because that shift from nothingness to being creative, being something that's creating something.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Got to have the space in order to create. Or as the Buddhists say, emptiness is form.
Yeah. I feel some pride, and I don't think this part is used to feeling pride.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you. Thank you, James.
Thank you. Thank you for sharing.
Think you aided that shift, son.
Yeah. Glad to hear it. Hope to see you on my calendar again, and enjoy your football.
Will do. And happy Thanksgiving to you.
All right, you too. Take care.
Do you want to help bring more self-energy to the world? If you'd like to participate in calls or help out with this project in any way, I'd love to hear your ideas. Join the Discord server or contact me at james@liveifs.com. A huge thanks to our audio engineer, Yvonne, for your care and diligence in editing the calls. To every caller for your courage in sharing some of your parts. And to anyone out there getting to know their internal system, keep going. Who knows, that might be the most selfless, helpful thing you can do for others, and you're the only one who can do it. If you'd like to see us reach the largest audience, we must please the almighty suggestion algorithms at iTunes and YouTube. And they don't care about the power of IFS. They're looking for likes and shares and comments, and the sooner the better. Follow the links in the show notes right here in your podcast player to make your wishes known. And now, a minute of meditation. Or if you prefer, pull over. You can do it in 60 seconds. Just click one of those links. They're right there, and give us a like or a 5-star rating. It would really help. If you think this project is helping people, you're helping people by sharing it. Thank you.